I will. Good morning, Monday morning. So you're on the podcast, the Coach's Corner podcast, and we're here with Coach Farrell Middleton. Now, coaching, the topic this morning is how to grow your business by hiring a local coach. Why is this important? We're going to get into a discussion and we're going to talk about it. We're going to give you three takeaways, the same three takeaways with just a little bit of spin to it, because we all have to hear things more than once. So maybe you heard hire a coach and you're going, oh yeah, I can do it myself. And then you hear it again, hire a coach. Then you say, I can do it yourself. And then you hire and you go, why did I wait? Well, you waited because you're a procrastinator. So we're Coach, introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
Good morning. My name is Farrell Middleton. The name of my company is the Bell Curve of Life. And my desire is to work with business owners and leaders to help them create smart and healthy business environments that will increase productivity, strengthen employee engagement and retention, and improve customer service, both internal and external. I've got a lot of program material, and one of them is actually working on procrastination tendencies, which my buddy Pete just mentioned. I've got a great session on that one. It's awesome. I have a lot of fun with that one.
Procrastination it's just life. And I heard somebody say, and maybe you can comment, that procrastination is delayed decisions. And if you want to grow your business, you have to be good at making decisions. And in a lot of cases, it's decisions that I'm going to invest in myself. You know what? You're the best investment you could ever make, ever. Nothing can come close. You invest in yourself, the payoff is it just is, because think about it. You want to grow in growing your business. Who do you think is responsible for your business? You are. So why not invest in yourself? And I'm gonna sing Farrell's praise here just before we start into this. You have a guy who has built successful building business. Now, for our viewers that may not be familiar with that business, you have all these vendors that you're dealing with, from floor to paint to drywall, to heating and air, to plumbing. I mean, the list goes on. Look around your house. All these people are vendors. Do you know what you have to do when you're building a house? You have to have a plan and coordinate with all these vendors. If you don't have strong relationships with people in your business, you're not going to be successful. How many years did you build your building business? So our viewers that haven't heard about you.
I was a professional home builder for 36 years here in the Atlanta area. And that actually drifted down to the middle Georgia area, down in Warner Robins for a little while. And then also my last position with a larger company, we had some neighborhoods over in the Auburn, Alabama area as well. But the majority of it was here in the metro Atlanta area, starting in 1986 when I graduated from college. And I have done the math, and Pete and your audience, I have been involved in touching in some form or fashion, maybe about 10,000 houses over the course of my 36 years. On average, hundreds of units a year over 36 years. It adds up to a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on.
When I hear 10,000, there's a book, 10,000 Hours, and I don't remember the author. I probably will remember. When you want to become an expert, you have to put 10,000 in, like hours. So you say 10,000 homes, that's experience touching 10,000 homes. Now, what do you think? If you're listening to this, I want you to digest what Farrell just said. You don't get good at one house. You get good after you've done so many that you have seen situations. That's why I always share with our viewers, hire a professional. Don't try to be the do-it-yourselfer. Do you want to be the do-it-yourselfer for the first home you build? I don't want to buy that home if you are, because that home's going to be an absolute mistake. You know, it's going to be full of mistakes because we always make them. I mean, that's just part of life. So
absolutely.
what would you say? We want to always make sure our viewers take home the same three things, but just keep helping them understand you are the best investment you can ever make. So what would you
Yeah.
say that first tip is if they haven't listened to your podcast before?
Basically, no, it's a good point, and this is not just coming from me, but other books that I read. I've done a lot of professional reading the last couple of years, but basically, investing in yourself is the ultimate, or it can provide the ultimate payoff. You can invest in all kinds of things, but until you invest in your growth and development and honing your skills, and that relates to professional skills of actually what is it that you do every day, but it's relationship skills, it's problem solving skills, it is all kinds of skills that help navigate the day. And one of the things that Pete mentioned just a quick minute ago in the kind of the introduction area is making decisions. And as a business owner, you have to make decisions. And I have seen a lot of people, myself included, get tied up in the old term analysis paralysis. There are so many things to think of that you can't make up your mind and do anything. The only way to make progress, and it's an old adage, but it is really holds true, is you got to take that first step. And that's in your personal growth and training. And that is also in your business directives. You at some point, you just got to get off the sideline and jump into the game. You have to, otherwise you're going to be stagnant.
And in today's business world, speed is important. And if you put off that decision, you're allowing your competition to move faster in whatever you're doing. So you have to get really good at being decisive, exercising that muscle. And it might be, oh, coach, I got to pay this. Yes, it's an investment in yourself. Yes, that's the best investment you'll make. So sometimes you can't see the results in a lot of cases, but you have to have faith in you are decisive enough to invest in yourself. You're investing with a guy who's got over 38 years in a very competitive business of relationship building, of team building, of really recognizing how important by putting that team together, you're going to be successful. So if you you have a business, you're out there for a couple of years, you're growing, and you say, well, Farrell, I'm growing. I mean, but are you growing as much as you could? Are you satisfied with a 10% growth? Or do you want a more aggressive? Well, a more aggressive can be your coach saying, hey, Farrell, you're capable of more. Let's put this strategy and this strategy because you've told me your business. I understand it. And I see similarities in businesses. And a lot of times we don't know what we don't know. And so you're there as the guy navigating them through the maze of different things. And your perspective helps that business owner, discover that, I wasn't thinking about that, Farrell. I mean, that makes sense. And you're helping them through that. So as you say, procrastination, being decisive, what would be the second thing that you could share with our viewers is so important in that business growth and partnering with the coach with your experience?
Okay, excellent. Partnering with a coach, I think, is very, very important. But that is not the end of it. Basically, that can be some one-on-one private time, or it could be with a small group, either you and a couple of your associates or VPs or whatever the case may be, that gives us a healthy mix of some opinions. But another very important part of this, and I like to promote this as well, is outside of any coaching you do, I think it's extremely important to get involved in at least one type of either networking group or a group of other people, like a mastermind group, particularly with people from other industries or sectors of business than what you are in. The reason I say this is because we all get tunnel vision. I say it quite a bit. Again, I'm guilty as well of all the stuff that I try to train people on. But basically, just interacting with people in other businesses that make decisions that are different decisions for different reasons, man, oh man, oh man, is there value in that. It's extraordinary because They are sharing their real life experiences with you and how they navigate through problems and challenges. And, it might be supply chain or customer service or interacting with the government or whatever it may be. But man, can that expose you to some different thought processes? That's an extraordinarily good way to grow. So aside from coaching, which obviously I'm a proponent of, get out there, engage with other people, find out what's going on. It's huge. It's huge and can't be replaced.
And just to add to that, Farrell, I met you at a KBA, Kennesaw Business Association meeting. So you got to get out there and meet people. You're the best. You have to get out there and tell people what's going on. If you sit in your office and don't meet people, you're not developing relationships, which will help you grow your business. You mentioned one other thing, the mastermind. My partner today came from 6 years ago. I was in his mastermind paying $1,000 a month. My friend Craig, this is for you. I told him, he goes, "You're crazy. What are you paying $1,000 a month?" I said, why do you say that? And he goes, "I can find that information online." I said, "Oh, really? You can find a brain online? I didn't know you had a brain." This is well before AI anyway. But, he was questioning the value of a mastermind. And I think anytime you can get different, and how masterminds are run, you got your hot seats, you got different people, different perspectives. Everybody's in there to add value to each member. And you get perspectives you would never get if you didn't surround yourself with doers, surround yourself with people that want to raise all boats. And so that allows business owners to not just get the people that work for them, because if you come to me and I'm working for you and you say, "Hey, Pete, what do you think about this?" Now you're my boss. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm just going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you honest. I mean, I may be honest, but I'm not going to drill down like, "Farrell, you know what? Your management style has something to be desired." Now, how long do you think I would last if I'm being honest with my boss? So you can't look for people in your company to be your mastermind. You got to look outside where people can give you the perspective that will help you grow. And so look at, and I'm sure if they ask you, hey, Farrell, can you put me into a mastermind? Look at the natural things that you have. All these people from different industries, you can put people together to help you grow yourself and your business. So I love that you brought that up. I didn't know you were, but that's awesome. So what else can you share? What would you be able to, you're speaking to a young person who's growing his business, doesn't know, I'm just going to go young because I know you coach not just the young people, you coach the people that want to elevate their game and get better. What other strategy would you share with our viewers?
One other thing as well, just to kind of continue the point of the conversation a second ago with these other mastermind groups or other networking groups, whatever it may be, whatever's to your liking. And there's timing, logistics, and in person, all that kind of stuff. But find one. But the other part of this, and this is coaching and networking as well, is a lot of times, Pete, it's really good to find out that you're doing some stuff right and that you're doing stuff well. When I get into my coaching sessions and we get on a particular topic, and the one I'm participating with, they're like, "Hey, you know what, man, this is how I'm doing that. And I think I've got a really good handle on that." And then we kind of explore, and I'm like, "Man, you know what? It sounds like you're doing great with that. Let's go focus on something that does need some attention." I am a huge, huge fan of focusing in areas where there's a need to make improvements. And one of my other topics is called, and this was a big one for me. Look, guys, like I said, I've been a victim of my own circumstances for my entire career. But it's called Solutions Looking for Problems and Fruitless Tasks. And basically, how much time gets wasted on initiatives that don't bring strong results or high value, whatever the case may be. So if something's not going to bring value, my goodness, do not spend time on it. Spend time on the stuff that needs to be worked on. If you're doing good at something, that's great. Check that box and move on.
I love it. I love it. I had my coach, I mean, it was actually before him. the way I plan my day, I have my 3 wins that I write down at the end of each day. And it really helps me crystallize what were my wins this day, because if we don't celebrate our wins and we don't like pat ourselves on the back for what we accomplish, business is tough. Nobody tells you it's going to be a piece of cake, because you're an entrepreneur or you're out there growing a business because you're different. I mean, hey, I love people who work for other people, but when you're running your own business, you look in the mirror, and if you don't add value, you don't get paid. And so it's a different mindset. So you have to have a mindset of growth if you want to succeed, because, hey, look, you don't add value to whatever you're doing. Okay. Nobody's going to hire you and be able to put their hard-earned dollars behind you. So what would you say, like, I know we wanted to be respectful of your time this morning because you're under a tight schedule, but we have a few more minutes. If when you're out there in the marketplace and somebody says, "Oh, you coach," like, what is their reaction when they hear that you're a coach? Maybe for the first time you introduce yourself at a networking event. What do they ask you? What's the dialogue like?
Okay, no, boy, that's an excellent question. Basically, I introduce myself just to let you know as a teacher, coach, and mentor is the way I like to do it. I'm teaching some classes at the Home Builders Association, for example, for state contractor license credits, and I'm doing some mentoring with some younger folks and that kind of thing. But when I do introduce myself this way, I will put in a quick little blurb, if you will. Some people call it an elevator speech. Some people call it a value statement. That, hey, my goal is to help, like I said a few minutes ago in the introduction, my goal is to help business owners and leaders create smart and healthy working environments. That is a nice, clean, crisp, 10 to 12 words or less. Hopefully that's what the marketing people call a hook in the mouth strategy, to where that might invite the person to ask the next question, which is, oh, well, that sounds kind of interesting. How do you do that? Well, that opens the door for more conversation. And so that is a good way that I like to do that. But I've got a tough task ahead, Pete. I'll be very honest with you, is that with what I do, it's a little bit on the ambiguous side. And this, I knew it going in a few years ago when I wanted to do this. I'm very different from the electrician or the plumber or the mosquito hunter or the residential closing attorney or the health insurance provider. Most people in the general public have a very good idea of those services and the final product that those types of professions produce to the marketplace. And so that is one of the challenges that I've got. Now, inside each of those, there are obviously the different avenues of specialty, like an electrician does, houses versus commercial buildings. All that stuff is very important. But people generally have an understanding of what it is. So when I introduce myself, that's what I like to do. And that kind of gets the conversation started, and then it kind of unfolds from there.
Yeah, it's funny. When I did before I had a health change of course a couple of years ago, I had a small digital marketing business, and I would lose clients, and I would lose them because they would go to Costco and they'd see that big screen TV for whatever it is, and they would go, "Man, big screen TV or marketing?" And it's like, I could watch the TV today, or I can invest in myself in marketing. And that is the unknown, because there's nothing guaranteed in life when you're in your own business. If you grow and you add value, your business will grow. But it's not like buying a TV. You bring it home, you see it, you look at it, and you go, "Man, I got this big screen TV." So I understand when people are like getting a physical thing that they can touch and feel, but growth is not something you touch and feel. Your information is information that goes up here. It gets applied. It gets the resource. The results are them thinking differently, thinking that they didn't imagine that being in a mastermind. They didn't imagine by networking. They didn't imagine these things that are going to make a difference in their bottom line, because they get so focused on the physical thing that we take home sometimes. You're not like a coach in a box. You don't take that box home. I got Farrell here. Hey guys, hey, this
Yeah.
box here has got Farrell Middleton in it. Now I'm going to unpack this thing and I'm going to crush it. No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Works off
No,
of
that's
changing this, understanding
yeah.
that investing in yourself, your business, what the kind of return you can get. And I can sell harder than Coach Farrell can because I can, because I'm not, because
Yeah.
here's what I want our viewers to take home. You again are the best investment you could ever make. Nothing's close. So every dollar you invest in yourself is going to come back many dollars. It can come back 200% if you apply the right principles. But you buy a big screen TV, that's nothing. It's what are you going to do? Get some entertainment dollars from watching a TV show? That's not going to make you a better business person. You have to invest in yourself and your skills
Mhm.
and your knowledge and how to apply them. That's where Farrell's
Right.
going to step in there and really shine light on things you would never imagine until you hire him, hire a coach. And I'm not
Mhm.
just speaking just Coach Farrell, because if you're listening to this and you're in another city, okay, look, if you want a locally trained person, look in your city. Find somebody that has the experience. I mean, I would ask, so what kind of experience do you have that you're now coaching? 38 years being in the building industry. That'll test you everything. Look at Donald Trump. Can you imagine being a real estate developer in New York? Can you be a passive little like, don't worry about it? Hey, if you want to
Hmm.
show up,
Yeah.
show up. You develop a skill level at that level that you better be good at dealing with people
Mhm.
and getting things done because
Yeah.
business is getting things done. So anyway,
Yeah.
I don't want to jump too far out. So
Now,
what would you say to our people out there? How can they get a hold of you to get you on board with their team?
okay. Real quick, let me just throw in something here real quick. I got a couple more
Yeah.
minutes. But you brought up a good point. I don't make widgets anymore. All right. My services relate to knowledge, experience, ideas, and guidance. That is
Mhm.
the service that I provide. And like you said, Pete, that it's invaluable if you want to invest in yourself. And that is the service that I offer to the marketplace at this point in time. And my goal is to help people improve their situations by helping them to focus on, excuse me, their behavior, skills, performance, and results. In that order is where I think you can go with it. So anyway, that's what I want to do. But contact information is very easy. My cell phone number, 678-618-2024. I used to even give that out to my homeowners, and they were very respectful of it. So I'm not scared to talk to anybody. I love talking to people. And my email address is Farrell, that's F as in Frank, ARRELL, at thebellcurveoflife.com. And if you reach out to me, I'm going to get back in touch with you and let's go have a cup of coffee. No strings attached, no long-term commitment. Let's just go get a cup of coffee and talk a little bit. If I can help you, I can help you. If not, we'll shake hands and we'll see each other again the next time, maybe something like that.
That is awesome. So for our viewers, share this with somebody that you know that could use Coach Farrell's help and support in growing your business. Just send it to them. Say, look, I watched this, and they can get to know them, and maybe that can help them be more decisive to take that next step to invest in yourself. So, what would be the one thing that you could take? What would be the one thing you would want our viewers to take home with them today on this podcast?
Based on today, invest in yourself. Or if you know of someone, family member, whatever, that is, young and, trying a new career, whatever the case may be, think of them as well. But just do something to make yourself better, whatever it is. Read a book,
Awesome.
talk to a coach, go to a networking group. Just go do something to expand your mental horizons, for lack of a better way to say it. That's my tip of the day.
Awesome. Well, Granddad, thank you. Oh, people don't know that if you see a
All right.
glow, he's a granddad, a new granddad. So if you see him out in the marketplace, congratulate him, because he's in for some fun times in the next few
Yep.
years as his daughter and his son-in-law raise his first grandchild. So thank you,
Yeah,
Farrell.
very.
Appreciate you being with us, and we appreciate you sharing these tips with our viewers today.
All right. Always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much for having me, and I'll see you next time.